Biggity Blitz Style, brought to you in part by Eagle Jiggity Chess. He's got the biggity best chess. Today we have a snot-nosed brat, Magnus Carlsen, versus Vasilly, IvanChuk. Infamously from the Foros, Aerosvit. Chicky Chess. It's the third chicky Crimean biggity bad boy chickity event of all. Tickety, get riggedy ready for the most important, incredible, even the planes griggly crash when they see the biggity best. Chicky. Actually, I gotta put the music on. Need to get my production set up here. Chicky, super diggity doop awesome. Chicky, super diggity, wiggly, chickity, chess. Alright, it's gonna be the pretty classic Queen's Giggly Gambit versus a King's Indian super diggity duper awesome from who? Uber super diggity duper awesome Magnus Carlsen, the wiggly white. Obviously the super diggity. We gotta turn the biggity beats on diggity down because that's not actually gonna be. Actually, we're gonna go right to tiggity talking. Right to tiggity. Here we go, right to tiggity talking. We're just gonna talk it on out here because we can't actually have the biggity best super diggity duper awesome chickity chess. Okay, here comes the classic horse opening. Let's rewind and see exactly what an Indian-style diggity defense looks like, ladies and gentlemen. This is what biggity black, Mr. Vassily, super diggity duper IvanChuk versus snot-nosed biggity brat. 2008 style Magnus 2000 snot-nosed brat in 2008. He's gonna be going up against the classic Indian defense. He's got the super aggressive piggity style of piggity play that we see today. Maybe actually I don't actually see because this is snot-nosed biggity snot-nosed biggity brat. Snot-nosed biggity. Would you please wipe your nose? Snot-nosed biggity snot-nose. Look at, he needs to wipe his nose. He needs to actually wipe his nose. He's up against Vassily, IvanChuk. Anyway, here comes the pushing right on forward, right into that Indian style diggity defense. This is actually a pretty standard biggity play. Take notes, kids. You too, Magnus Carlsen, because you're a kid too at the tickety time in 2008. Ladies and jiggly biggity boys, giggly tee hee. 2008, ladies and jiggly biggity boys, giggly tee hee. 2008 style of chickity chess. Biggity the biggity best. Obviously gonna be ladies and jiggly super wiggly. Anyway, biggity back to Crimea, biggity back to Crimea River, biggity back to Crimea, biggity back to Danis, the Ukrainian chickity podcasters from Crimea, from Crimea. From Crimea, super diggity. Crimea was given off to the Ukrainians by the riggedy Russians back in the exchange of brotherly love, biggity back when the biggity 300th anniversary or whatever treaty. Don't recall, but I recall that was actually they're gonna have the first world CCC. Don't know communist first world communist chickity chess bestest TD. Biggity bestest cheaty. But now we can see, holy cannoli, guess who's up at biggity? Guess who's up? 2 biggity pawns now. Wiggly, biggity blacks and biggity IvanChuk's beating up the snot-nosed biggity brat. OMG, look at this attack from Ivan. You need to go back to 2008 to see Magnus Carlsen lose. Need to go back. Need to go back to
Shop your new mattress.
They won't let me in Ashley's Furniture anymore.
Browse our wide selection on.
Why won't they let me in Ashley? Because actually I fall asleep on the couches. It's just too comfortable. Why won't they let me in Ashley's Furniture? Because I fall asleep on the couches. It's just too comfortable. I just start to snore, and everybody adores the super diggity duper awesome comfortable furniture at Ashley's Furniture. So that's why they won't let me in Ashley's Furniture. Not today, not likely tomorrow, not actually ever, because I've been biggity super diggity duper awesome biggity permanently biggity banned from Ashley's Furniture. Not my fault. Their furniture is so incredibly comfortable, ladies and jiggly biggity boys and giggly. Guess who's up? A riggedy rook is gonna be Magnus Carlsen, but he's down a horse, of course. He's down 2 piggity pawns, 2 OM nail biter. We got a nail biter, ladies and jiggly super diggity. Mr. Snot-nosed biggity brat versus Vassily. Gonna be a nail biter, ladies and jiggly. The horse exchanging on diggity down. What's miggity Magnus Carlsen gonna do? He's gonna try to bring the frown upside diggity down to Smile Town, but he's super diggity. He's like super wiggly, super diggity, whooper diggity, swooper diggity, wiggloo diggity down, diggity frown town down. Magnus Carlsen, frown town down. Can he prevail? This is 2008. We had to search so wide and far to see biggity back in history. Can we actually see Magnus Carlsen ever liggity lose. That's what we try to do. That's all we try to do is see Magnus Carlsen lose. Please, AI, could you give me a giggly game where Magnus Carlsen Wiggity loses? I'm tired of seeing him Wiggly winning, and suddenly he's Wiggly winning. He's Biggity up a Biggity Bishop. Not likely. Now with Vasilly, oh, the horse is gonna be pouncing on that scene and collecting up the pieces. OMG! But here comes Miggity Magnus with the diggity doubled up Riggedy Rooks. You can't diggity doubled up Rook like Magnus Carlsen, nah, because he took one of your Riggedy Rooks early on. He sacrificed a horse and 2 Biggity Pawns just to take your Riggedy Rook. Now he's gonna take. That's all he's gonna do is take. He's just taking full advantage of his extra Riggedy Rook. And now we see suddenly there's no Riggedy Rooks on the Biggity battlefield for Biggity Black. OMG, seriously. Now it's just Biggity down to Magnus Carlsen. He's bringing the chickity chest thrill skills. OMG, what? Seriously, can he come in? The snot-nosed Biggity brat back in Biggity Russia, Ukrainian Biggity whatever tickety territory may be, 2008 style snot-nosed Biggity brat, snot-nosed Magnus Carlsen versus Vasilly. But here comes Vasilly. What? OMG? Seriously, Eagle Chest taught me. I don't have to ask him. He says thank you. It was a Magnus Carlsen who Wiggly won. Before that, I had to go ask him every single tickety time. Who won? He said Bobby Fischer won. Hey, quit ruining my commentaries. Chicka, 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 chess.